Welcome to what's going to be a personal video, kind of like a diary entry where I'm just sharing an update in my life with you guys. This video is not going to be about the world, it's not going to be about money, it's not going to be about society. It's going to be about my experience of the past 2 or so months. I'm going to give you a bit of context as to what I'm talking about, what's been happening, how I'm feeling, and again, it's both for you guys to hopefully enjoy. Maybe you'll take some inspiration, maybe you just want to know, maybe you don't, maybe it's just going to be a diary entry for me to look back on in a couple of months or years. So right now we are in October, coming into November actually, and since mid-August I have done a lot of changes in my life. I've made a lot of videos at the time on that, and then I went quiet on YouTube for a bit. I spoke about the fact that I felt like at the time it was time for something new. It felt like I was kind of falling behind. I didn't really feel motivated in anything that I did. I just didn't feel great about the way that the path was going. I explained this. I explained that I was looking for something new, and that was it was a time. It was a period in time. And you know what? After that, things got very interesting. A lot tougher in some ways and a lot better in others. Come later, I would say that month, but I don't know what month that video was filmed, so we'll say just before August, we'll say late July. A lot of stuff changed, right? I was doing okay, I finally built the money up to a decent level, I was fairly okay, everything was good apart from the fact that I felt like I needed a new project. And then guess what happened? Just when you finally get the money right and everything like that, you guys know I'm all about business, your car just explodes. Take it to the garage, it's going to cost a fortune to repair. Wasn't worth it. So I ended up literally just the next week, I found the perfect car. The car that I'd been looking for literally for years. And I know it sounds like if you saw the car, you'd be thinking, really? Yeah, I was looking for this car for years. It was immaculate, one owner from new. Full service history, everything. I picked the car up because I was able to get insurance very cheap, or relatively cheap. It was still very expensive, but it was not much more than my last car. It was actually only £100 more. So I picked up the dream car, or one of the cars I've always wanted to own. That was great. Again, it was still a huge cost out. It was like £7,000 out, or more. Then I had a lot of other costs. I, maybe foolishly, but I don't actually regret it, ended up going away for a week with kind of a friend. And after I came back in mid-August, I had to acknowledge a few difficult facts. So, number one, I didn't really have much money at all. I'd let my YouTube, eBay, Patreon even, etc. get to a point where they weren't bringing that much money in at all. That was a problem for my future. I'd also dropped a lot of money out of my savings. A lot of money out of my savings. Yes, I didn't need to buy a car. Yeah, well, you're a stupid. You didn't need to. You could have lived at home and had nothing until you were 30, and then I'd be depressed, miserable, a loser, right? I'm about to tell you how this created one of the best times in my life. So I don't want to hear it in the comment section about how you didn't need to buy it and how you wasted your money. It's just a diary entry. I don't necessarily want commentary on this one. If you want to leave a comment or an opinion, that's fine, but you get what I mean, right? So I bought this car. I come back and I have to acknowledge the fact that I'm not making very much money anymore. I used to be, I'm not anymore. And also, I'd just come back from a great week away, right? It was a decent enough week. And I'd seen, you could argue, a different side of what life could be like, right? Permanently. Life could be travelling. Life could be hanging out with friends. Life could be hanging out with great girls, right? To be honest. Or a great girl. It depends. Life could be driving this big car. But the problem with all of these things is it required me to be in a position that I wasn't in. The position that I wanted to be in was being able to afford to drive the car that did 8 miles per gallon and be able to go away lots of places with the girl that I had in my life at the time, and also have all of these other luxuries. The fact of the matter was, whilst I wanted this lifestyle, the actual lifestyle that I had was not very much money, and if that car broke down, I would have been screwed. And I knew this, right? And I thought, well, I'm not getting to a point where I've experienced this, I've seen what I've seen, I've done what I've done, I've bought what I've bought, and then I'm going to get completely torn down at the last hurdle. I will not let that happen to me. So I decided to go hard mode. hard mode ever since, and I've not stopped at all. What does hard mode look like now? I've explained the kind of the motivation behind it, and also it was a bit deeper than that. I'd also been seeing for years the sort of lifestyle that I wanted. Like I say, when you live where I do, and Manchester city centre is just a little way away, that's the kind of place where you see people driving. I know it's not London, it's not like London, it's not as good as London, but you see people driving supercars, you see people driving cars registered, very, very nice luxury cars registered in Kuwait, in Dubai, in Europe, and that makes me think, and it's always made me think, right, this guy, let's say for example, has got enough money to ship a car halfway around the world, and he's living their life, right? And I always thought, well, that's going to be me one day. I had a realization that if I don't pick it up now, that's not going to be me. Because I'm looking at the guy hopping out of this, I don't know, Shelby Mustang Cobra or Corvette. And I know for my American viewers that probably doesn't sound very impressive, but the cultural context is very different when fuel is as expensive as it is in the UK. Or a Ferrari with a foreign number plate on it and going to a lovely hotel. And I'm like, that guy's not much older than me. This could be my life now if I get moving on this vision, on this mission. So I got straight to work. I'm like, number one, money. I need money now. Never mind to have the luxury lifestyle, to have the lifestyle that I want now and already have. Because if I don't make any money, I won't be able to afford the lifestyle that I have. And so I did a few things. I straight away got a job. As soon as I could find any job, I took a job. I took the cheapest, probably the worst paying job that I could. But it was money coming in. It was money coming in. And that was good, right? It was an assured amount. Because bear in mind, at this point, I hadn't picked my eBay or YouTube up to back where they are now. I was making next to nothing on both. So in my head, a job was some assurance of definite money coming in, whereas obviously eBay, YouTube it's a lot more. You can make a lot more, but it's not for certain. At the same time, I started listing at least 25 items a day, because bear in mind, like I say, I'd seen other people living a luxurious lifestyle. I'd seen the luxurious lifestyle that I could be living. Yes, I didn't have any money, but I just experienced it, and I was mad that I couldn't experience it anymore. I was disappointed as well. So the next month was focused on just getting money. Just getting money. Maybe even the next 2 months, even to where I am now. And now, I'm not going to lie, right? The eBay alone, it may be touching a £10,000 revenue by the end of this month, maybe next month, right? Obviously, we're on the 27th now, so probably next month. Next month, we might be touching £10,000-15,000 revenue on eBay alone, which is crazy to me. Like I say, been getting paid from the job. Started cranking out YouTube videos as well as time went on, because as time went on, my intentions changed. When you don't even really have enough money to pay for any unforeseen expenses, like big breakdowns on the car, for example, or bills that may come in, if you don't have the money to pay for that, you need money now. That's less about what you want and more about what you need. So the first month was about getting money fast, right? I needed to get money quick. So obviously, like I say, I was working all the hours that I could, all of the hours that I could. At the same time, I was coming home or before work, because it was like shift patterns. I was doing 20 listings, 25, 50 listings a day, 50 listings a day. Bear in mind, for a lot of my Patreon clients, I've professed the idea of listing 5 a day. I was doing 50 a day, right? I'm not asking for any love or support, I'm just explaining. So I'd been doing that, and the money was starting to pop in quite quickly. I'd sold off a lot of personal, I wouldn't say assets, but things that I don't need, old computers, games, etc. Things that you don't need them anymore. So I'd been able to build up some savings. Right, when you have some savings, your visions can change a bit, because now it's less about what you need and more about what you want. Right now, I have enough money in my bank, comfortably, to pay for everything that I need for the foreseeable future. Car breaks down again, completely fine. We can fix it, we can replace it if we wanted to, but I don't want to because I like it. So we can fix it, any bills we can pay. I've got enough, but I still want more. So I'm still listing 50 items a day. like on average, 50 items a day. And like I say, the business is definitely starting to grow. It's growing. Last night I sold something for £550, one sale alone, and it's becoming more and more like that as time goes on. Because that's what I want to make happen. I need to make this happen in life. Because I've seen two worlds as well, I must say. After I got the job, this has been my first job, because I've always done selling or YouTube as my streams of income. So I've always done that. After having a job, I've seen what the world of work is like, and it's not really a nice one, right? You can have a good job, you can have a fun time sometimes at work, but the fundamental concept of work is everyone here, even if we're having fun, even if we're having a laugh, everyone here is simply here for the sole intention of getting money. And that does create an environment where, unlike university or college, school is like this, but university and college are not. People have an energy about them that's not nice. Anyone that goes to university is there because they want to be. They might complain about the exams, etc., but they chose to do a degree. Anyone that's working in a shop, a warehouse, a bar, probably is there for the money, and therefore they probably don't want to be there. So I realised that work wasn't for me, and I had to make this business thing work. You saw the video that I just made where I said that I made about $8,000 in eBay. It's continued to grow. And again, like I say, as time went on, I could take the pressure off what I needed, because my bills were covered, my rents were covered, my costs were covered, with enough security to think about risking a bit more cash, if you will. And I've decided to start expanding. You know, that past month or two has just been about focus, focus, focus. Get enough money to cover at least 6 months to a year's living expenses, with the car considered, with expenses considered, with going out considered, with a holiday priced in, right? The luxuries as well as the normal things. So I've got enough money for that now. And hopefully, you know, looking to God and all of the powers, that will continue to build. But like I say, when you're in the point where you need things, your mindset's very different. When you're in the point where you want things, your mindset changes again. Because now I'm in the point where I want things. And by the way, the sacrifices that I made in that time were quite immense. I used to, in fact, no, I still do, but it feels like I don't. And I know that sounds sad, but I'll explain. I was going to say I used to have a lot of friends. I still do have a lot of friends, but they understand where I'm coming from with this, right? So it feels like we're not necessarily the best of friends anymore, a lot of my friends. We just don't hang out because I'm grinding this business. I'm grinding this job. I'm making it work. In a couple of months, I'm going to take the pressure off. To be honest, in a couple of weeks, I may actually leave the job, simply for the reason that I don't need it. And it actually pays less than eBay and Amazon. It's starting to even pay less than YouTube. But what I'm saying is I gave up a lot of time with friends, I gave up a lot of time with family, I gave up a lot of time with the potential girls that I was seeing or could have been dating, and that can have a strenuous effect on a number of different relationships. Your friends, it seems to be 50-50. A lot of them think, oh, this guy is being stupid again, he's lost his mind, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's wasting his time, he's fallen into a system. A lot of people think you should just be on their level. And no disrespect to any of the people that I'm talking about, but certain people are not moving forwards in life, and for you to then just snap one day and think, oh, this is a really messed up situation, or a situation that I don't want to be in, for you to then switch up like that, some people straight away are on board with it. Now, a lot of my other friends are very much on board with it. It seems to be a very 50-50 thing. Some people completely understand, like, yeah, if you get 50 grand, 100 grand in savings or an income, we can travel anywhere that we want. You know, you can have some free money. I'll be building my business. Respect the grind, bro. You know, some people are like that. And they are perhaps the more true friends, perhaps the more meaningful connections, and the people who you'll look back and relate to in years. So it's very 50-50 on that front. In terms of the girls in life, or in my life, I think that puts more of a strain on that kind of relationship, because when you don't really have the time to see these people as much, or build these connections, or go out and meet people, or etc. as much, people start to question why, or the girls start to question why. And this is, I'm not necessarily saying this is for everyone, I'm explaining what I have been experiencing. People are like, where have you gone? What are you doing? Why are you not paying attention to me anymore? What are you not interested? And it's a hard one to explain, but the point is this: it's put a lot of strain on a lot of different relationships, and that's just the fact of it. But fundamentally, I am getting my stuff together big time. I need to be making enough money to be living that lifestyle now. Not when I'm 30 or 40. That's how it doesn't happen. When you don't have the chance of saving living costs by living in a flat share or a house share or with your family, and you have to pay bills and you have to work 40 hours. I've done some 40 hours, right? I've done some 9 to 5s in the past couple months. And it takes away most of your time and most of your energy. Because it's not an 8-hour day. It's a 10 or 12-hour day with commutes and breaks considered. It's a 10 or 12-hour day. Or at least in the places that I have worked, or the place I have worked. It's more like that. So that's not working. It's not worth it for me. I need to make this work now, or else I'm not going to have another chance. So I built up all these businesses, I'm building up them more. Now I'm at a point where I'm choosing to. I could give up now. I could slack off. I could do half of the work that I'm doing. I could cut my listing number down to 20%. I could do 1 hour's worth of work instead of 5 or 6 or 7 or 8. But now we're not about paying the bills. Now we're not about getting by. Now we're not about getting a flat. Now we're about getting a supercar. Now we're about building an actual business, having money for investments, having money for holidays to nice places, having money to take people out, having money to spend on the things that I want, not the things that I need. That's the new ambition, right? And like I say, now that I'm getting to a point where the eBay's popping off, the YouTube's doing better, Amazon is now a thing that I'm selling on as well, it's looking like a genuine income stream is happening. Like, this could happen. Like, £10,000 a month profit, we're not there yet at all, but we could be there in the next year. But then you start to learn, okay, so a couple of months ago I was making nothing, or next to nothing. Now I'm making a lot, or what I think is a lot. And it feels like my quality of life hasn't really changed that much. Actually, in some ways, it's dropped off. Now, we all knew that there was going to be some level of sacrifice when you withdraw yourself from your friends, family, loved ones, etc. But what that actually means and what that actually looks like is a different question. And that's the point that I've gotten to recently. Because now I'm realising, not every hour can be about business. Because I know people might say, and I know there's a lot of guys on YouTube who say, well, yeah, use your 20s to just grind away business. Look, when I was in my very early, I have to say 20 years old and below, I was doing my eBay, I was doing my YouTube, I was doing all my different businesses. But I had a nicer work-life balance. Now, I was making less money, but we were doing stupid stuff as kids, as teenagers. We were doing stupid stuff. And I don't regret a minute of it. If I had have gone down the path of not meeting the people I've met, not seeing the things that I've done, seeing the things that I've seen, not doing the things that I've done, what experience of life would I have? I might have 100, 200, 300,000 in the bank. My life would have not been any fun. I've had a lot of fun. And that's what I'm starting to realise, right? I'm after now a deeper meaning. So I'm changing the dynamic. I am now happy with the way that my life is going. The businesses are doing well. The amount of research I'm doing into new markets is exciting. The opportunities that are opening are crazy. And the things that I'm seeing, I can now actually picture myself living that lifestyle. But at the same time, I'm not hanging out with as many of my friends. There's very few days now I do hang out with a lot of my friends. Like a month, very few days a month. Spend all my time at the gym. Spend all my time doing work on my laptop, on my phone, making videos. The car that I love to buy, barely drive. I might have, 1 day off a week where I'm not doing anything at all, at best. And that's where I'm starting to change the dynamic. You see, it's not good enough. Because having money alone is not going to be the change. It's about having that meaning back. Now, I can do both. And this is the kind of middle ground that I'm getting to now, because it's always a progression. It's all a progression. I thought making £5,000, £10,000 a month would complete my life. Because when you're broke, when you've always been broke, when you've never seen that money before, 10 grand profit, back then was an unforeseeable thing. When you are at the point where that can be you soon, you realize it's not all. It's a lot of things. Because now, again, I can go where I want. I can see what I want. If I want to pick up and go to Spain tonight, providing that there's a flight, in fact, no, I can drive there. I've got the money for the fuel, even if it's inefficient. I can go to Spain for a month. I can go to Thailand for a month. I can do anything. But at the same time, I think a lot of guys in the money-making space overlook everything else. And I think I've been a bit guilty of that, right? I have been still going to the gym, but whilst I've been lifting heavier and I have put on muscle, I've also put on fat because I've been a lot more idle. I know that might sound stupid and lazy, but think about it. You spend all of your day either standing still in the job that you do or sat down at a computer making money. Your health is kind of slow and passing you by. It's time to get back into running, cycling, the kind of things that I enjoy. Nothing can beat a good laugh with the friends. Nothing can beat a good laugh with my group of friends. Full stop, right? Human connection is a huge thing that a lot of these guys miss. Fortunately for me, I have good relationships, very strong relationships, so it's not a problem, but that's one big thing, right? When you spend all of your time working in your businesses, you may, if you're a normal human and not a robot, miss something in your life, and to go without that for 10 years, I couldn't do it. I won't do it. And if that means that I make less money, so be it. But also is a purpose thing is the next one. I don't like to use that term because every one of these social media guys makes it, it's your purpose. You need to have a purpose. What is a purpose? Now, for me, building a business is what makes me happy in income, right? And that's why I don't mind potentially having the prospect of quitting the job. It doesn't fulfill me. It doesn't make me feel happy. I might have a laugh with some of the people sometimes, but I'm the kind of guy I can talk to anyone. I can make friends anywhere I go. I know this. So that's not a big concern. It's not like if I lose my work, I'll have a lack of friends. It's not like if I lose my work, I'll lose my meaning. I don't tie my meaning to my work. I get a lot of value from building my businesses. I get a lot of value from interacting with you guys. But on a deeper level, what's next? I think I need to take up a lot more sports, a lot more contact sports especially. I've been looking into doing a lot of boxing and classes like that. Because as weird as it might sound, or as pointless as it might sound, and it's not for the fact of having some real world status or anything like that, it's a next level of toughness, I think. And that might sound stupid, but hear me out on this one, right? It's not about being this typical alpha character. I don't care about that at all. It's none of my business. But here's my game, right? I'm learning that whilst the feelings that I felt around August were tough, right? They were tough feelings. Maybe it was completely orchestrated by my own incompetence. You could make an argument for that, and I would not disagree. And I can acknowledge that. They were tough feelings, man. And I just felt like I don't want to feel like that again. But at the same time, looking at where I am now, I have more money now than what I had when the car broke. It's been 2-3 months. I feel better for it. Clearly challenging yourself makes you feel better. Clearly challenging yourself gives you that status that you want. And that's what comes next for me. I'm going to just keep pushing the boundaries. It's about pushing the boundaries, but I just wanted to explain more of the story because I made a video like this a couple of months ago, where I spoke about the fact that I felt like it was all a bit pointless at that time. I don't mean life, I just mean everything that I was working on. And I think now, it's a now or never situation. It's an all in or nothing. It's an all or nothing. Because if I am not giving my all, number one, I'm not going to receive the benefits of that ever. If you don't put your all in, you can't get the benefits of doing your all. And you won't feel as fulfilled. I'm chasing that fulfillment now, and I don't mean from fake sources. And again, this is why I call it kind of hard mode, because not only are you up against, and I know people are going to say, some people will say, oh, that's soft, you need to be a man. Not only are you up against your emotions, you're also up against genuine real world challenges, you're up against a lot of circumstances, and you don't necessarily know which direction to go in. By giving everything your all, and fighting against the prescribed normals, not thinking if you are bored, you go on TikTok. No, I can't get bored. How can I get bored? You got nothing to do? List some items. You can't list anymore. Your eyes hurt. You've done your target, whatever. Go for a run. Go to the gym. Learn a skill. Learn a language so you can travel more, etc. I'm giving everything my all. And yes, there are going to have to be some adjustments to be made. I need to spend more time with my loved ones, man. Friends, family members, they're not going to be here forever, right? Thinking about things like dating prospects, they're the qualities that can't be looked past, to be honest. You need all of these connections in your life. I'm not necessarily saying that you need to get out there and get a group of 20 friends or have a girlfriend or whatever, but this is my point, right? Without human connection, status means nothing because you're not appealing to anybody else because you don't have any human connections. And also, I feel like if you're a rounded person, you'll just feel less fulfilled. So yeah, I'm going to have to spend a lot more time meeting people and spending time with my current friends, just networking with new people who are on the path that I'm on. But my point is this. My businesses are growing fast, and I'm seeing an insight into a life that I just couldn't have imagined. This has been 2-3 months. Now, here's the thing. I've made a diary recently to track this. And, we're 2 months in. I've not once felt like giving up. I've felt demotivated at some point, but I knew it was a period that had passed. Now I'm back on my grind. If I did this for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, where I will be could be unbelievable. Now, there's going to be some people in the comment section, I'm sure, who couldn't manifest what they wanted from their life, and they'll be salty about the fact I'm trying to do it with mine. But if I'm honest, I'm looking at the results that I'm seeing in 2 months. 2 months. I believe, and I'm not going to believe anything otherwise, that if I put my full effort into anything that I try in life, I can win. I can win. I can't lose if I put my all in. If I really want this business, I will make it happen. If I really want that car, I will make it happen. If I really want that house, I will make it happen. And I will not take energy or thoughts away from anything that makes me believe otherwise. How can I do that? And what's funny? The more I believe it, the more I do, the luckier I'm getting. The more I do, the luckier I'm getting. Uploading 5 items a day, 5 videos a day, let's say. I've been uploading 5 times a day for a week, 2 weeks. What's funny? My subscriber count has gone up like 100 in a week. Number one, I don't have time to dilly-dally about. I don't have time to waste. And number two, I know that the harder I work, the luckier I get. And right now, certain things have been tough. Like I say, am I on the right path? Is this working? But you know what? At the same time, look at the results. Never mind what you think. Look at the actual results, statistics. Facts don't care about your feelings, whether I feel good about it, bad about it. I'm making record amounts for myself. I'm seeing progress faster than I ever have. Facts don't care about your feelings. What you're doing is working. And again, if I carry on at this path, it's like the harder I'm putting in effort, the luckier I seem to be getting. Anyway, I don't know if that video is any interest to you guys. If you've watched this way, then I don't even know. I don't know how many people will watch to this point. I'm just sharing my experience, right? It's like I say, this is a diary entry. Whether it's any good for anybody else, I don't know. Just sharing what I've been experiencing. Maybe you're going through a similar thing. Maybe you're not. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you can't. Maybe you want to be in a path like that and you want to try. But all I'd say to myself, looking back, you tried for 2 months. Where are you going to be in 6? And for you guys watching, if you're on your grind or if you want to get on your grind, just take inspiration from what I've just said. It's been literally a number of weeks, a small number of weeks, a relatively small number of weeks, and I am astonished by the progress that I'm seeing in everything that I'm putting effort into. Everything that I'm putting effort into, I am smashing. There's a few certain things that I need to put more effort into. There's a few certain things that I need to take effort away from, but overall, how can I complain? How can I lose, right? Because I believe I can make it, and I'm young enough that I can fail and try again. I've got enough in savings to cover my costs, and I'm going to spend all my time and effort trying to get in the place that I want to be. Because, again, There's someone out there driving the car that I want even more. There's someone out there living in the place that I want. There's someone out there who's got the friendship group of millionaires and rich people that I want. There's someone out there that's dating a girl that's better than what I can dream of, right? And this is the reality of someone who's not on their grind. Now, again, as I just build this path, the doors are opening. The people that you meet, the places that you go, the things that you see are just becoming incredible. A world that I would have never imagined could open up. But again, this is just 2 months. Compound that over 10 years and I will probably be in a position that I couldn't have imagined. You know, hard work pays off. Effort pays off. Conviction to a belief can pay off as well. So thank you for watching and I hope I'll see you soon.